Hi, Wes. I am Lynn Cox, and I am so excited that I'm going to be coming along in August as your new interim leader. I've long admired the Washington Ethical Society for your commitment to justice and for your apparent joy in being together. You're famous for it. This is a time in history that calls for creativity and deepening connections and clarity about our deepest values. And it just so happens that these are also some of the goals that are very typical for a congregation going through an interim period. Congregations in an interim period do a lot of discernment, do a lot of meeting, do a lot of thinking and creating and imagining together about what it means for that congregation to live its mission in the current time, in the current situation. So I know you've been doing great things together online. I know that you have been continuing to serve your community and continuing to care for each other, and we're going to keep doing that. I imagine that you are curious about how the interim time will unfold. I'm curious about you as individuals and as a congregation. We're going to need to live into the ambiguity a little bit. But what we are going to do is in the fall, we'll have some gatherings and I'll interview some leaders. We'll have small groups on web conference and on telephone conference for people who are not into being on camera. And so we'll start to think about, what does it mean to be a congregation in an interim time? What does it mean to be a congregation in a time such as this? And so we'll take that information and I'll look at it with the board and I'll look at it with the transition team, and then we'll map out a plan. Some way of looking at what goals you have as a congregation for this interim time and what's the best way of meeting those goals. So we'll come up with a plan when we're together. One of the groups of people that's going to help is a transitions team. So I'm going to ask the board to help me form a team of thought partners who will help me strategize, who will reflect with me, who know you better than I can know you, and that can help me plan events to help the congregation with that discernment, with that articulation, with that moving forward in the goals that you have for this interim time. So that's something to look forward to. You probably read in the letter a little bit about me. I was born in Washington, D.C. at GW Hospital, 6 blocks from the White House, as my dad likes to tell everybody. And I grew up in Prince George's County. So I went to public schools all the way through in Prince George's County, and then went to University of Maryland for undergrad. And then I went off on my big West Coast adventure and did some things in California and went to seminary in California and served a congregation there before the East Coast beckoned back. So I came back to serve the Joseph Priestley District and then I served a congregation in Harford County and got my degree in counseling. And then after that is when I started my career in interims. So that brings us up to date. I live in Baltimore with my family, my 2 partners, 2 kids, and 2 cats. I like to walk. I like to garden, although I don't know that I'm very good at it. I like to read, and I look forward to learning all about you. So we'll see you in August, and until then, enjoy this time of celebrating your time with Amanda Poppy. Enjoy this time of reflecting back on all that you've accomplished as a congregation in the last 12 years. I look forward to meeting you. Talk to you soon.